This is the Mariners POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Seattle Mariners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Happy Father's Day to all of the... Hey, thanks, Brett. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. The Mariners gave us a great gift today. I'll let that comment start off the show because, wow. Your Seattle Mariners sweep the Cleveland Guardians. Big start from Emerson Hancock. J.P. Crawford gets the big knock. Other than that, like just a pretty low-key sweep with their backs up against the wall.
Yeah.
It seemed like we were kind of going down the tunnel of uh-oh for this Seattle Mariners team, and this was a much-needed sweep. Anderson Hirst here, Christopher Crawford to my left. This is the Locked On Mariners postcast where we go live right after every single final pitch from the Mariners game, and we break it all down for you from the biggest moments to our unsung hero. There's a lot to get to today, but the two main things that stick out to me are Emerson Hancock's outing and J.P. Crawford. But Chris Crawford, his dad, what do you think? What do you think about the game today? What was your first takeaway?
Proud of my son. Proud of my son. In all seriousness, number one, happy Father's Day. Number two, how cool to have Crawford have that moment on his very first Father's Day. To have a grand slam on your first Father's Day has to be one of the best feelings that you could possibly have. And, it was just a game where it's been a while since I felt like the Seattle Mariners were the considerably better team for an entire game. And today was one of those days. And it's very fun to see.
You could say that for the whole series.
Yeah, I think yesterday was kind of an interesting one. Yesterday's win becomes even more massive in my personal opinion, because it does allow you to get that sweep now, to get that win against the team that I believe it was 112-0 leading in the eighth inning, something like that. To be able to get that one that culminates now with that sweep is pretty awesome. It doesn't erase the struggles that they had against Arizona. It doesn't erase the struggles that they had really against Baltimore and some other series, but that's all in the past now. You have a 3-game winning streak. You played a team that's competing for the postseason, and you took all 3 of those games, and now you get a chance to really turn the ship around, to get going against a Boston team that's coming off a sweep of the Red Sox, the Boston Red Sox swept the Red Sox of Boston. That was impressive. That sweeps the New York Yankees, and now it's a big matchup. It's great to see. It's awesome to just kind of feel good about Seattle Mariners baseball again. Let's see how long it lasts, but for today, it feels pretty darn good.
As we always do, Christopher Crawford, let's start with the start. Emerson Hancock, let's look at his line today. Let me just double check. He goes 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk. That's the big thing for me. 1 walk, and then 4 Ks to add along with that. Was this his best start of the season?
If it wasn't, it's way up there. I may go with that start he had against Boston and Fenway, just because there was a little bit better swing and miss stuff. But how much weak contact did we see from Emerson Hancock today? Every time I was looking down at something else, and I know I'm supposed to just have like the Stanley Kubrick movie, I'm just supposed to have my eyes glued to the screen when I'm doing these things. But sometimes, you get distracted and you take a look down. Every time I looked up, there was a Cleveland Guardian hitter popping the baseball up to first base, shortstop, left field. There was such little hard contact, and that hard contact ended up in the gloves of everybody. His command was really good today. And, you take a look now, Emerson Hancock has a 4.48 ERA. Is that the most misleading 4.48 ERA in history? It's so much based on 2 starts, and really one start that he began the year where he gives up those 7 runs in 2/3 of an inning. Outside of that, he has been phenomenal. Emerson Hancock is somebody I'm getting more and more confidence in as a starting pitcher. And this will be a Ty and Colby thing to talk about, what you do when Bryce Miller's healthy enough to go. Because it's hard for me to say that I trust Bryce Miller more than Emerson Hancock right now. In the long term, sure, of course, based on what Bryce Miller did in the second half of 2024 alone, I have more confidence. But right now, Emerson Hancock looks like the better pitcher, and he did a sensational job today of pounding the strike zone, hitting the corners, changing eye levels. I was really impressed with what Emerson Hancock did today, excuse me.
Yeah, and we've talked about it before. The biggest thing for him, is the fact that like you gotta limit the walks. If you're going to be a pitch to contact guy, which he is, he's not going to strike out 10 plus guys more often than not. So he's going to be pitching to contact, which is
for sure.
You got to limit the walks thing, because you can't be having guys on base when you get occasional bad BABIP luck for the pitcher side, right? So that's going to be the biggest thing for me for Emerson Hancock moving forward. If you can just keep pounding strikes like he was doing today, he was just going right at Cleveland Guardians.
So efficient.
It's a great lineup to do that too, because they really only have like 2 good hitters. So
right.
Yeah, I mean that was the most encouraging thing for me today with him. You're not going to get a bunch of swing and miss stuff. I don't know. Occasionally he'll get the 6, 7, 8 strikeouts, but if he's walking one guy, maybe 2 at most per outing, that's going to be a huge positive for me.
No doubt about it. And like, I'm just looking at his Savant page right now. Like, he's still in the bottom 20th percentile in strikeout percentage, whiff rate, chase rate, even expected batting average is pretty bad of 302. But he's above average in walk rate. He is well above average in barrel rate. He is well above average in hard hit percentage. And he's in the 62nd percentile in ground ball rate. That works, especially for your 5th starter. If this is your 5th starter, you're doing really well. And if you can just keep getting these how many times have we talked about Emerson Hancock throwing 5 or 6 innings of 2-run baseball? So many of those outings, even better today, but we don't need Emerson Hancock to be this good. We need Emerson Hancock to be that 5-inning, 2-run guy that'll keep you in games. You avoid the disaster. And right now, Bryce Miller, I'm more nervous about him having a disaster than I am Emerson Hancock. Just based on how I've seen him pitch this year. Lots of faith in him long-term. But right now, I think Emerson Hancock, when Bryce Miller is healthy, Emerson Hancock stay in the rotation. Make Bryce Miller a 2-inning reliever. Make him that guy who throws a couple of times a week. You have enough bullpen depth, I think, that you can get away with it for a little while. And if maybe he becomes a high leverage guy for this year, and then you build him back into a starter for 2026. Long story short, Emerson Hancock right now is a better pitcher than Bryce Miller, and I did not think we'd be saying that on June 15th, 2025.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think I agree. I have more confidence in him in terms of making a good start, getting some length, limiting the bullpen, and I don't mind the idea of getting Bryce Miller. If he is feeling right to get back, let's work him in slowly with a couple of bullpen outings. So, and you mentioned before putting like an opener in before him. So it's kind of just the opposite way of doing that, but in a sense, like limiting his usage a little bit.
For sure. And if the starting pitching can agree to it, and I know it's weird to say, but the starters really do need to agree to this. Maybe you talk about going to a 6-man rotation and keeping these arms fresh and having that 6th guy be Miller working behind an opener. I think that's something that you really got to get the go ahead from guys like Kirby and Gilbert, who I'm super excited to see tomorrow, by the way. You got to get their go ahead, because these are creatures of comfort and they have to be okay with doing it. But if they are, I don't think a 6-man rotation is the worst idea in the world. Yeah, no, I'm with you there.
Let's do a little on the bullpen usage, because there is another question. Andres Munoz wasn't used again. Trent, he is still on the roster, yes, but I want to have before we get into the 2nd inning, which is where it all happens. I want to talk a little bit about his usage, because we've said for the last 2 days he has to be used tomorrow. He has to be used tomorrow, and he continues to not be used if you're up by 6 runs or down by a few as well. So they talked about it on the broadcast, actually, and I actually like what Ryan Rowland-Smith was talking about. Like, you got to kind of appreciate these pockets in the season as a reliever where you can just completely rest up, get yourself right, and then you can kind of go back to the grind when you're in those 1- and 2-run games all the time. And we talked about the time where he gave up his first earned runs of the season came directly after him having a long break like he's having right now. So yes, there is some worry for next time he comes out. to like, okay, how's his command going to look after not pitching for 6 days at least? But you can also look at it positively. If you remember in 2023, he was completely overused.
And 2024, in my opinion, too. Sorry to jump in.
No, you please. But especially in 23, when you're coming down the stretch and the bullpen just kind of fell apart because of how much they were being used in the second half of the season. So I think almost, even if you're going to have maybe a shaky outing or two when he comes back, I'd rather have more gas in the tank at the end of the season so he's still himself and have that trade-off instead of just continuing to use him in these situations where you don't need to.
And I think that Cinnabon makes a good point here that Munoz is still throwing bullpens. It's not like he's been sitting this whole time. That's totally fair, and that's good. You know, he's getting hot. He got hot a couple of times over these last few games. I guess my only criticism or counterpoint to that would be it's not the same. It's just not the same as going in and throwing that stuff and seeing a hitter face you. It's just not the same. But that being said, I think it would be worth a couple of shaky outings to keep him as fresh as possible because, you know, we are creatures of, we react to what's happening in front of our face. And we remember that the last time Munoz had a long layoff, he wasn't good.
Right.
But it's really important to remember 2023 and 2024 too, when Andres Munoz was beyond overworked. I mean, he had like 7 inning saves.
Yeah.
By like Father's Day. Like right around this point, they were using him that much because they didn't trust the rest of this bullpen. You've got to not only take care of Andres Munoz now, you got to take care of him for the upcoming direct that is going to be this summer when you are as close. Everything's close, right? Every single thing, every game is going to matter a lot. But you also got to think about the long-term future of this guy. This is a guy who's had Tommy John surgery before. This is a guy who throws really, really hard. And what happens to players that throw really, really hard, Anders? They get hurt. They get hurt a lot. So you have to protect his long-term as well. So I am frustrated that they haven't used him. I thought today would have been a perfect day to use him.
Yeah.
That being said, I understand taking kid gloves is probably too strong of a word term for it, but I understand being cautious. I understand making sure that Andres Munoz is available for what is going to be a gauntlet of baseball this summer, because oh boy, have they put themselves in a position where they need to be. I know saying win every game is stupid, but every win and every loss is going to matter a lot over these next 92 games. So I understand it from that perspective.
All right, let's get to our partners for the day, and then we'll talk about that second inning. Sound good?
Sounds great.
If you're looking for a snack that packs both, if you're looking for a snack that's both delicious and nutritious, crack into a good source of protein with wonderful pistachios.
Anders, are you okay?
I'm fine. Thank you.
Okay. Well, you'll be even better now because Wonderful Pistachios is one of the highest protein nuts. Each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and better for you unsaturated fats to help you keeping fuller longer. You know what I love about pistachios is I am on a super strict diet because of my health stuff. And I called my doctor and I said, what should I be eating a lot of? And they said nuts. And you know what the best nut to eat is? Pistachios. So
and you know what the best pistachios to eat are?
Wonderful.
Yeah,
they are. Yeah. That's funny how that works. But I just love the fact that I can snack on them when I'm driving. I'm going to have a long drive on Tuesday up to your stupid studio, Anders, to go host a stupid radio show. And I am going to be snacking on pistachios the whole dang time.
Get snacking and get cracking with the snack that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. All right, let's get to game time. If you've ever decided last minute to head to a ball game with friends or family, maybe it's game day and you suddenly realize you want to be in the stands, that's exactly where Game Time comes in. It's the easiest way to grab last minute tickets without the stress. With the money you save on tickets, you can splurge on food, drinks, merch, or even invite a bigger group to come with you. Game Time makes it possible.
Game Time makes buying tickets fast and simple. Prices of the app actually drop the closer you get to first pitch. And they've got incredible last-minute deals, clear seat views, and a lowest price guarantee that takes the worry out of buying. Today would have been a great one for it. You're hanging out with your dad. You say there's nothing to do. Right around 12:30, you realize that you're not going to get the great Father's Day present. You forgot to get your dad a Father's Day present. Gametime. Gametime has you covered. And the fact that they have that lowest price guarantee is a big one for me.
Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use Locked On MLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download the Gametime app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All right, just a quick notes on our sponsors, guys. I just want to say a quick note. I know you guys want to get to the content and everything, but it's a great way to support us.
Yes.
We always put in our notes underneath each video, support us by supporting our sponsors. These are just ways that you can help us out if you like the content that we give you. A great way is to just use the stuff that helps pay for us. And if it's stuff you're already getting, it's just a great way to kind of show your support for
sure.
what we do for you guys every single day. And we really appreciate it. We love hanging out with you guys every single day.
We're capitalist pigs, and we appreciate you guys making sure that we stay loaded.
Yeah. All right, let's get to that second inning. After we talk about this offense a little bit, I want to do a little bit, not bigger picture Mariners stuff, but take a look at what other teams around the AL West have been doing to kind of look at our situation. So bottom two, 0-0 still kind of seems like, all right, Mariners are kind of feeling it out to go for the sweep today. Randy Rosarena walks. Rowdy Tellez doubles, but Randy gets to third. So you got second and third, nobody out. Mitch Garver strikes out. Don Canzone walks. So you got bases loaded, one out. And then Master Boney hits a good single on a line drive to right fielder. Nolan Jones, Rosarena does score on that. Only one gets in. And then it's J.P. Crawford with an absolute tank of a grand slam. That's what we call dad strength, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that was really impressive. And it was great to see. And look, I want J.P. Crawford to go as the opposite way as much as possible, right? I think that's when he's at his best, is when he's using the entire field, but in particular, when he's slashing that ball to left field is when he's at his best. But if you give pitchers a reason to say, I can't throw pitches in certain locations because he can pull that ball down the line, all the better. And that's exactly what he did today. And he has just been so very good. And it reminds me, we got an email from our good buddy Bill Dahl just right before we were about to start recording. Vote J.P. Crawford for the All-Star game.
Yes.
Vote for him. He absolutely deserves to be an All-Star this year. And, if you want to argue there are better shortstops, I won't stop you. He's not Bobby Witt Jr. I'm not going to say that he is Bobby Witt Jr. If he was Bobby Witt Jr., he'd be my best friend on top of being my son. It'd be a nice combination. But I will say this. It doesn't matter. J.P. Crawford.
Support your guys, right?
Yeah, back your dudes. This means nothing. This means so little, and yet it means so much to these players, right?
Yes.
Like, it would be incredible to see J.P. Crawford get in the top three. But go vote for Big Dumper. Big Dumper should win it by a substantial margin, but just in case, hey, vote for Julio. Vote for Ben Williamson, because I love my unsung hero every day. Can't make him the unsung hero today because he's on the bench to begin the game.
Nope.
But go vote for these guys. And J.P. Crawford has been phenomenal. Now, I will say this. J.P. Crawford, you look at those numbers. What's impressive to me about those numbers is he hasn't been phenomenal throughout the year. He's been phenomenal in these spurts, right? Imagine we get this version of J.P. Crawford all year.
Yeah.
If you get that version of J.P. Crawford all year, you're going to be just fine. You are going to be just fine having that at the top of your lineup, because Julio's going to get the power going over the summer because he's done it every year. Yeah. Big Dumper is going to be Big Dumper. Randy Rosarena is going to go on a power tear. We know that for sure. If you get that at the top of the lineup from J.P. Crawford, the ability to get on base, to slash those singles to left, and just every once in a while poking that ball over the right field wall, man, that top of the lineup is going to be really, really good.
Yeah, 824 OPS right now. That'll do. That will play. 296 average has a chance to break the 300 mark, which would be crazy. I'm not a big batting average guy, but that's
well,
still
it's crazy for someone who walks as often as JP Crawford to have a batting average like that, right? Because normally guys who have that high OBP, you're not talking about guys who hit in the 210s or 220s.
No.
But a lot of times you're talking about that 250, 260 because they are hitting with 2 strikes so often, and it is so hard to hit with 2 strikes in Major League Baseball, especially right now. So the fact that he's contributing in average, he's contributing OBP, still have some defensive issues with JP Crawford, if I'm being completely honest with you. I'm sorry, son. I love you, but let's get that range back to where it was. Maybe some Ozempic or something like that. I don't know how that works, but like, did I just call JP Crawford fat? Goodness gracious. Come on, Chris Crawford. This is the worst Father's Day ever. JP Crawford is anything but fat, but the defense is still not my favorite, and I would love to see him playing second base if I'm being just 100% honest with you. But you cannot deny what he's done with the bat, especially as of late. He has been kind of carrying the Seattle Mariners offensively.
Yeah, there's going to be times where I agree with you a lot, and this won't be one of those times. Maybe it's just my novice view on the game, but I haven't seen issues at shortstop. Now, I don't look at him and say, oh, that's an elite shortstop. I see a guy that, does his job. He makes the plays when he needs to. Yeah, maybe there's a few he doesn't get to, but I think in terms of defense, he's one of the last, not one of the last, but he's not something I'm worried about long term.
Interesting.
So, I mean, I guess you can just look at things different ways, but especially when his offense is what it's going right now.
Right. The way he's hitting, you can't complain about it. Like,
no.
Savant has Go ahead.
I
was just going to say range outs above average this year. He's a -7. That's really, really bad. And the arm keeps getting worse. But if you hit 296, 411, 413, your range outs above average could be negative infinity. And you would still be a guy you have to have in the lineup every single day.
Yeah. And you mentioned second base. We saw Jorge Polanco play second base. Not just as like a defensive substitute either. He started at second base and
second time in 5 games. So that's very interesting to see.
And I think it goes hand in hand with him looking better at the plate. That means he's healthier. It means he's more comfortable, kind of doing things than just swinging the bat left-handed. So I think that's a positive sign moving forward. I would love not to have to rely on the Ben Williamsons and the Cole Youngs as being everyday players right now. So I think that's a positive sign moving forward. Gosh, really quick, back to the All-Star thing, guys. Please vote them in. If you want to be that guy that's like, oh, I'm just going to vote the guys who deserve to go. You can be that guy. Like, whatever. Do what you want to do. But vote your Mariners in, please.
It's fun.
Yeah. JP Crawford deserves to be an all-star. I think that has never been. It would be such a cool experience for him, for his family. I'm going to vote Julio in mostly because of defense, but like you can, cookie cut any way you want. I'm going to vote Cal in. I want my guys to go there. I want to see Mariners on the big stage. Who cares if there's better players than them at their position right now? Please vote those guys in.
Here's what I'll say. Last year during the All-Star break, I was hosting for that lazy bum Ian Furness, and we were so uninterested in that All-Star game because there was only one guy on the team who had a chance to play, right? Because Logan Gilbert started that Sunday, so he wasn't going to play. And then Andres Munoz, who ended up not playing. It made it such a drag. When you've got 2 or 3 guys playing in the game, it helps. And look, I'm not saying that any of the guys outside of Big Dumper are going to get voted starters, right? I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe Julio, because the outfield situation in the American League is really weird this year. But I don't think he's going to get the vote. But if you are on that ballot, you can't. I know how baseball managers and people work. They look at those vote totals. They take a look and say, oh, hey, this guy's 3rd. Maybe he deserves to be in. Oh, this guy's 5th. Maybe I can put him in over somebody else. It matters. They definitely look at those vote totals. So just do it. Just get off your lazy butt and do it.
Yep. Please do that. It's a really cool event. I just like seeing Mariners in that game. I want to see more than one player go for us, which I think there will be. I think there will be at least Munoz should go. Cal should go. at least. And then I want to see JP and Julio as well. Maybe even Brian Wu as well. So, real
quick, this stat shocked me. Julio Rodriguez is third among all outfielders in WAR this year.
Yeah.
Third. Yeah. I'm stunned by that. Because if you look at Julio's numbers, and he had a pretty crappy game today, he did get on via hit by pitch. I was glad he was okay. They're not great. They're not even close to great. But he has been that good of a base runner and a defensive player that he is third and second among all American League players.
Just after Aaron Judge.
Crazy. Aaron Judge, get traded. You're ruining my MVP chances for Big Dumper, and you're ruining Julio's chance to lead the American League in WAR for the outfield.
Yeah. Anyways, so please vote your guys in.
Yeah.
Series starting tomorrow, I believe. Against Boston Red
Logan
Sox.
Gilbert.
Logan Gilbert makes his return. That's going to be a big one that we watch. And I think he's going up against Garrett Crochet. No, not Crochet. Let's see.
Lucas Giolito.
Yes, it is Giolito. Okay. So that's going to be
very inconsistent. Yeah.
Yeah. Like he has the stuff to be one of those guys. But I think it's pretty safe to say the Mariners have the pitching edge if Logan Gilbert is himself, which it seems like from all reports that he has looked really good recently. So I'm excited to see that. That's a big get for this team because I think the offense is starting to come around a little bit. I really think they are.
Yeah, a lot of hits lately anyway. And we talked about it. Like, they just have to be okay with runners in scoring position if you're going to get this many hits, right? You just can't be a complete disaster. This was really good. This was a really good series. I'm looking forward to Mollywop Monday because I was just dreading it, tomorrow that I was like, what the heck are we going to talk about? And I'm promoting Mollywop Monday. Tune in every Monday at 1:20 to listen to me, Nathan Bishop, sometimes Anders Hirst if we let him participate, and who is it again? New York Vinny. Ian Furness. That's the guy.
Ian Furness.
Ian Furness. Tune in to check him out as we talk about Mariner stuff on 93.3 KJR FM every Monday at 1:20.
Yep. Support the boys and come hang out with us every night because we love being with you guys. Another Mariner sweep. These are the good days. These are the days where I am glad I'm doing this job, man.
Amen.
And let's keep it going. I think that, like you said yesterday, the Mariners and Red Sox are pretty similar in terms of talent level.
Sure.
I think this is going to be an interesting series. And it being at home, I think is actually a positive for the Mariners this time. Sometimes it can be a negative. But because of this matchup, I think it's going to be a positive. So hopefully
anybody who's seen Seattle play in Boston, that was the first series they had won since 2014. Yeah. So if we can stay away from that stupid, overrated stadium, I said it. It's good.
Wow. Okay. There you
go.
Overrated. And it's
so overrated.
I love Fenway personally, but that's just me. No God says Red Sox been hot. This will be a good test. I agree. So come hang with us tomorrow. I believe 6:40 first pitch. So we'll come with you guys. 9:15. And then come hang out with us. We love being your post-game show. Come tune in the Mariners POSTCAST right after every single Mariners game. Myself, Anderson Hirst, Christopher Crawford will be breaking it all down. And you can check out Ty and Colby with Locked On Mariners every single day as well, Monday through Friday. Ty also had a very cool Father's Day special earlier today. So if you guys haven't seen that, please go check that out. It's really awesome. Sure. If you have a relationship involving baseball with your dad, it's definitely worth a check. So please go check that out and tune into their episode tomorrow. We will talk to you guys after the game against the Red Sox tomorrow evening. Have a good one.
Wrigley Field's overrated too.